Hi, I want to showcase you the new API and dashboard that we added to Paradym. We added support for STJOT issuance over OpenID for VC, and we do this to prepare for the upcoming standards and also the efforts that are ongoing in the European Union for digital identity. So let's get started. We're taking, as an example, we're issuing credentials, attendee credentials for the Identicon event. So the first thing what I can do is I can configure my profile. I already selected the logo and set my display name so users can see the issuer of the credential when they receive it. The next thing that we can do is we can start creating templates. I'll start by creating a credential template. There's several fields you can fill in. So we have Identicon attendee 2024. And we can configure how it looks. I have a background image, so that looks like this, but you can also configure if you leave out or a wallet doesn't support it. Then you can also configure a background image so that is shown when the background image is not shown. So let's make sure the text color works right on both backgrounds, and then we can add some attributes. We're going to add the first name. We're going to add a last name, and we're going to add a sponsorship tier. This one always needs to be disclosed so you can see the sponsorship tier of the attendee. So we have an Identicon. The type is allows you in proof request, for example, to specifically know like, okay, this is the credential. And we will set that this credential is valid for only 1 day from the time of issuance. So we'll create a credential template, and once it has been created, it will show up in our overview. So the next thing we can do is we can start issuing it to the Paradym wallet. I have that on the right side here, and to do that we can use the API. So I'll move over. I'll copy the credential template, the ID of the credential template that we just created, and I'll head over to the API reference. The API reference in Paradym allows you to interactively use the API, see what requests you can make. You can test requests, and when you're signed in, you don't have to provide an API key. So it should be as easy as possible to get started with issuance. So in here, we have a lot of API endpoints, and we'll now create an OpenID for VC credential offer. So I'll click on test request, and I need to provide a few fields here. First is the credential template ID, and I also need to provide a project ID, so which project we're currently working under. So in here, you can see I'm currently in the Identicon project. If I go to the settings, I can see here my project ID, and I can copy that. So once that's copied, I'll paste it here. And now we need to set the attributes. So we defined first name, which is Timo. Then we have a last name, Glastra, and we have a sponsorship tier, Platinum. Sadly, I'm the only sponsor of my event at the time. We'll send the request, and once we have sent the request, we will get an issuance session. We can see we only offered one credential now, but you can issue multiple credentials at the same time, and they will all end up here, and you can see the status of each credential separately. We'll copy the offer URI, and if I go to a new tab and paste it, it will show a QR code. The QR code can be scanned with the Paradym wallet. And once I do that, it will start loading the information. And as you can see, it pops up in our wallet how we configure it in the credential template. I see all the fields. I can add it to my wallet. And now I can view it in my wallet. So the next step, what we want to do is we want to verify this Identicon credential I have in my wallet. So we'll go back to the template builder we have here. And as you can see, there's also a section for presentation templates. So I'll create a presentation template. And I want to verify the sponsorship tier. Let me see. And we want to know which rooms you can access at the event. Some people, like if you have a higher membership tier, you can access certain rooms that you can't if you didn't sponsor or have a lower tier. So I can select the credential. I can add the URL if it's an external credential, but if you created a template within Paradym, you can select it. And I want the Identicon attendee 2024. And this is like to verify your attendance. So we only support STJOT, and it has automatically added all the attributes here. And I can remove these fields. So because we don't have them to always disclose them, we configure it so we can not request them, and then they also won't be disclosed. So this is the only thing we want. I can create the template, and now it has been created. So I can again copy the presentation template ID here and go back to the API reference. And we also have a section on OpenD4VC verification. So we have create OpenD4VC verification request. The only thing we need to provide is the presentation template ID, and we also need to provide the project ID again. So I'll copy it once more and provide it in the API. I can send a request, and now the structure is a bit similar from the credential offer, and as you can see, there's an authorization request URI. I can copy this and then open that again, and the flow works similar. Like we get a QR code, we can scan that with the Paradym wallet, and then it will say like which fields will be disclosed. So there's some metadata that is also disclosed with the credential, but as you see, like the first name and last name are not in here, and so also wouldn't be disclosed. So we can accept it, and once that is done, the session data has been shared. So also through the API, we can then, for example, get the status. So we get the ID, and then we can do, or we can just do retrieve open the, well, not the issuance sessions, but we want to do the verification sessions. We once again need to find the project ID. I paste that here. And when I get them, we currently have only one. And as you can see, the data, the status is now verified. We can see we received one credential, and we can see the attributes that have been presented. So when it was issued, when it will expire, we can see the issuer, the type, and also the sponsorship tier, and whether it's valid. But as you can also see, the first name and last name haven't been shared here. So that's all you need to do to verify a credential within Paradym using credential templates and presentation templates. Thank you.